When you look closely at something, suddenly the whole picture can look different. In this series, we're talking about science and faith, and we believe that we can learn more about these topics when we take a closer look. For a lot of people, science and faith seem like opposites, and that they should be in separate categories. Sometimes when talking about science and faith, it feels like if you support one, you have to be against the other. And at first glance, science and faith may seem like they have a little in common, or like they may work against each other, but when we take a closer look, we find the opposite to be true. Part of having a faith of your own means deciding what you believe about things, and that includes science, and that includes faith. Sometimes it feels like what we learn about science and faith is contradictory, but what if there's more to it than picking a side? Asking questions and learning about science can be a good thing for your faith as well. Some of the world's best scientists were Christians. They believed in the Bible, and they believed God who inspired it. Examples are Galileo, Isaac Newton, William Kelvin. These scientists studied the way things work as a way to understand more about the God who created them. They believed that learning about science may be a way to learn more about God. When we take a closer look at science and faith, we get a better understanding of how they work together, and that's how God meant for it to be. The Bible is an incredible record of a relationship between God and humans, and it gives us direction when it comes to science and faith. The very first words of the Bible describe what we know to be true about the universe. God was there before it all began. Everything we see and experience in creation today was made by God a really long time ago. The writer of Genesis didn't give us all the details of how the world works, but we're reminded that God is the one who created it. Maybe God didn't give us all the details of how the world was made, but God wants us to be curious and continue learning about creation as a way to grow our faith. Just like you can learn a lot about an artist by looking at their art, you can learn a lot about God by looking at the world that He created. Creation points to a creator. The more we dive into science and start learning about the world around us, the more we learn about God. And we can start approaching science and faith in a new way by being comfortable and asking tough questions. Curiosity about science and faith work together is a great starting point to discover more about both. Learning about God and science to strengthen our faith, talking to older, wiser adults when we have questions about faith or science. Creation points to a creator, so we shouldn't be afraid to ask questions about science or faith. Look for signs of God in the world around you by asking yourself, where did you see God today? Let that be the starting place for you to discover more about God, who made you, loves you, and wants you to grow in your faith. A great place to start learning more about the Creator is by asking questions to people around you who are older and wiser. Giving them your thoughts, asking them questions about science and faith. What's one big thing in creation that reminds you of the Creator?